Alright, welcome to this FSD 10.4 beta video. I'm gonna do a little different thing with the camera to hopefully save some time in editing, so hopefully I can do more of these. My overall feeling is that you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I think that's a real good way to put it. There's a couple of things that got worse, I guess. I don't know if that are different. I don't know if they're worse per se. They're just not what they were. And then there's a couple of things that are really good. One of the things that got worse is this right here, making turns. And this time around it did it okay, yeah. I still don't like how wide it goes, but it did it all right. Oh, there's a Performance Model 3 there. So you're now. Also, I've noticed we have the school zones here have 20 miles per hour signs, and it's for a very short distance, maybe like, you know, a football field long, essentially. But the sign the car doesn't see it, as you see here, and it does not change speed, so you have to take over the neck curves, because if there's a cop there, they will absolutely pull you over. And everybody slows down there, because it's just the right thing to do. See, the sign's only this short, so there's no reason not to slow down. But it's only during certain times, which the car can't read. Well, for the most part, though, it's been pretty good. It's been a little bit better on the stoplights. That kind of improved with 10.3 as well. So it doesn't usually brake as hard, I should say. Once in a while, though, it does a weird thing where it brakes, and when there's no car in front of me, it'll brake like really hard. After it's already been braking, it's like the last, you know, foot or half a foot or 3 feet maybe, it'll just brake kind of hard. I always thought that was weird, but it's not a big deal because you're already so slow at that point that maybe the passenger would notice it, or they might notice it, but they might not, be bothered by it. See how we do with this left turn here. It's a 2-lane left turn, so in theory we could have went through any lane. I haven't really got it kind of does what it wants with that. Sometimes it goes in this lane, sometimes it goes in that lane. It does seem to matter what it's going to do next, so that's good. So if it's going to make a right turn, it'll usually go in the outside lane, as far as I've been able to tell. And if it's going straight, though, it kind of just picks one. Oh, so normally I'm not used to this, the car being so close to the car in front of it. And because I have it on assertive, it follows more closely to the vehicles in front. I'd rather not have that feature and have the other parts of the assertiveness, but I don't want to have 1,000 buttons either that I gotta check off and on, so I'm fine with this. Still brakes up kind of hard when people are doing that. I mean, the car has already turned. It usually brakes up after they've already turned, where there's no chance it was going to hit them anymore. Which I always find funny. It's like, well, if you're going to do it earlier. And if you're not going to do it, just don't do it. Is it here? What I will say is that it's been further away from the curves than it was before, and I like that a lot. Other than these turns, that's the only time it kind of gets kind of close to the curve, but that's actually probably a good distance to do there. It's just because it's not me doing it. So now it needs to make a left up here, so I will notice that it does sometimes take a while to make that choice. Like, that's a really long while. I should have already gone over by now. Yes, it does have a problem with this. It does always do this one late. I forgot this time. Yeah, it seems to always, even if it's going right and it's over there, it'll do it always late. I don't know why that particular turn there. So it's going to let the black car go. And I should be able to go now. Yeah, good stuff. That's exactly right, buddy. Nope. And that's the other issue it's been having with turns. It stops in like the middle of the turn. So I had to give it acceleration there because they started driving already, thinking I'm a normal person, not braking in the middle of the intersection. So that's something we definitely got to report. When I'm on video, I often forget to report. What I will also say is that whenever I get a new update, I usually drive it maybe about 20 miles or so with different things before I film it, because so far it seems like it adjusts in those first few miles. And I don't know what that is exactly, but I do remember way back when I was getting my radars worked on. They say, yeah, anytime there's an update, it does have an adjustment period well, it was the radar at the time. We don't have radar, but I'm thinking maybe it's just an adjustment period in general, because it does seem to, it's different now than it was when the features first rolled out. And that goes both ways. It could be actually worse than it was when the features rolled out, when it first got the update, or it could be better. But once it does have that break-in period, it's pretty much consistent for the rest of the update. So that's also why I don't, like the first day video, I don't usually record that, because that's not, for me, that hasn't been indicative of what's going to be happening for the rest of the update. So we've got plenty of miles in now. I was working a lot, so I was running around driving hundreds of miles. So yeah, we should be good. Now, we can make a right turn here, right? I don't see why it's not doing that. Maybe I'll give it a go. Let's see if it'll do it. Yeah, we can go, buddy. Alright, so I'm pressing the accelerator now. It does not want to go. There we go. So it did that. It did not do that at all. I'd have to look back on the video to see if there was a message on the screen for me to press the accelerator. Usually it would stay there if it wanted me to do that. So when I looked, there was nothing there. But we can turn right on red up here, unless there's a sign specifically saying not to. But that's pretty rare. I do like that. When the light changes, it doesn't continue braking, it just goes back on about its business. Okay. I prefer the middle lane as well if we're traveling straight for a while. Actually, looks like this. The destination is pretty much spot on from there. So I'm actually going to go here. I'm going to grab me some lunch. Today's Veterans Day in the United States. Most people work on Veterans Day. But I have not got any requests, so this is my all day off now. See that? Well, he was way over my lane, but I was over in his lane too. I also, yeah, and I really wish they would work on the curve navigation. It needs to hit the apex, so to speak, and be as far away from the car on either side of it as possible. There's two cars, you'd be right in the middle. That was a hard break. If there's one car on one side, you just stay further away from it. I know it's an AI, so it's not programmed per se. Well, I'm not sure, but I assume there are some things they can do because they have done adjustments before. Don't know how they do it, but that would be a nice one. Because like down here we have this highway that's 80 miles an hour on it, but it is super curvy. Autopilot cannot handle it at that speed. It always goes into the other lanes, and it's a very, very busy highway. So you will, it doesn't hit the next person over. Why is everybody in my lane? What's going on today? It doesn't hit the next person over, but it gets uncomfortably close. And it's not what a human would do, basically. We try to, stay further away from the other car. But it doesn't do that. So corners were definitely one of the things it took a step back on. It does not handle those anywhere near as well as it handled it before. And as you saw in intersection, it'll just sometimes stop right in the middle of the intersection. That's a big no-no. That should not even be a thing at this stage or ever again. So I always wonder how they do it. My thought process with how it should be done is basically, if you can't pass all the stuff that the previous system did well, like run through all the roads, or I don't know if that's how they do it. You can run through all the previous footage and have it, simulate through all those. And if it can't do that 100%, it just doesn't. It fails. It doesn't get into the next generation of AI. But that's not how they seem to do it. So my guess is that they just try to see one that handles the most situations, maybe on a points basis or something like that. And then that one rolls out, even if there's some other things it doesn't do as well. I'm not the genius, so I'm not going to say which one's better. But human intuition, as bad as it is, we want it to be like, hey, it should get better. It shouldn't be worse at the things it was, good at before. But that's not how this seems to work best. And I wonder if that's true for other I don't know what to call them, platforms, AI platforms, self-driving platforms. So I haven't been into a Waymo yet. I haven't been to a Cruise yet. I haven't been to any, really, other mostly self-driving systems. So I'm wondering if that's how it always works, if that is the best way to do it. So I'm not sure about that one. Still does that, puts on the indicator for odd reasons. So the funniest one is when there's cones in the other lane. He wants to put on the indicator to go in that lane, sees the cone, turns them off, puts it back on again, off and on and off, until you get past the cones. That's still funny to me. So these roads are interesting. I may have to step on the brake. Some of these have, they're not speed bumps. They're just, the road is designed in such a way that it performs like a speed bump. So if you're going at normal speeds there, it's gonna hurt. So sometimes you might see me hit the brakes to turn it off. No, that is not a speed bump. Okay, not even sure what that's about then. Well, I did see in some article, I think I read, that somehow it sees, or it can show speed bumps now on the screen. I don't know if that's true. We don't have many speed bumps down here. Had a whole bunch in New Jersey, but not there anymore. Okay, don't know why it's doing that. It's freaking out. I guess the car is kind of close to it. It is really close to it. Actually, he's in my damn lane. I'm surprised he didn't brake up hard. That's really weird. See, look at that. I had to put my indicator on for it to even start going over. So that's what I'm saying. When they actually block off a lane with cones, it does not go over. At least not in time. It doesn't even get. We're still good here, buddy. Freaking out over here. Oh yeah, look at this steering wheel. Okay, all right. They want to make this turn. Go ahead. Well, they made that turn assertively. And this is our spot. So I'm taking it off here. Just a few last minute thoughts. It is. Oh wait, this is my entrance. Like I said, it's quirky with cones. It moves over when it doesn't need to move over, and doesn't move over when it does need to move over. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's true for everybody. I don't remember the video showing a lot of cones happening, so I don't know. They need to get that one fixed like already. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one.